anyone who is listening today, what is digital transformation?
People use different words in the organization. Digitization, digitalization, digital transformation. So let's define these three words. This one particular incident taught me so much that your digital transformation did not remain only to the white collar staff of the company, but also it has gone to the level of security guy. And that security guy today is happy that he taught me how to deposit the check.
For the organizations who might be thinking about transforming themselves, what could be the drivers which will push them towards digital transformation?
According to me, there are two drivers. One is external, second is internal. Let's look at what is external.
Aadhaar card infrastructure in India. So is this also an example of digital transformation from a country perspective? Even central KYC now, from individual KYCs now to central KYC, so that it is valid across multiple institutions.
Yes.
That is also because of the Aadhaar card infrastructure.
They ensured that interoperability, and I like the way in which they are asking. First question is why and not what.
Where does AI fit into digital transformation, or how can we use AI to kind of become better at transforming digitally?
Earlier, there was a concept of demand forecasting replenishment planning, DFRP. What is DFRP doing? No AI.
I believe digital transformation is something which is happening all around us.
All around.
It's just that we are not talking about it.
That's right.
I mean, the way we talk about AI and we have talked about cloud and various other things, I don't think we have talked about digital transformation that much.
That's right. I mean, this is the first podcast on digital transformation for me.
People who are working on digital transformation projects, what are the important critical skills for the professionals to be part of the digital transformation initiative?
Can digital transformation happen without AI? Digital transformation cannot happen without AI.
According to you, which is the most overrated digital trend?
This intelligence came from, there was one algorithm, one mathematician has developed in 1930, a German mathematician, called as behavior of item is in 9 quadrants.
Good morning, good evening to everyone. Welcome to another episode of FutureForward, a podcast on AI, business analysis, and data analytics. In every episode, we talk to an industry expert and we talk about technology, business, data, skills, and career path. Today's topic is digital transformation. Today's guest is very, very special to me. He has been boss, guide, and a friend to me. Having more than 4 decades of experience, he has been at the forefront of driving transformations across industries. During his stint, he has successfully led IT initiatives across multiple geographies, including Americas, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. In recent times, serving as CXOs, he has been providing strategic leadership to the organizations. It's my absolute privilege to welcome today's guest, Mr. Sandeep Desai. Hi Sandeep, how are you?
I'm good, Abhishek. First of all, thanks for Techcanvass and to you for inviting me for such a beautiful podcast on my favorite topic, digitalization. I hope we'll have some meaningful conversation.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute privilege to have you here today, Sandeep. So let's start by understanding what are you doing currently?
Currently, I am engaged with, for last 3 years, with Shapurji Palenji Group Company, AFCONS Infrastructure Limited, as a principal consultant, where I advise them on IT strategy, how to implement for EC&O industry, where I would say we have taken the leadership in implementing a lot of technologies and lot of IT enablement processes we have implemented to ensure that business gets benefited. At the same time, I am also mentoring students on soft skills, at the same time on the hard skills also. Plus, we take a lot of different topics which industry would like to have. And so that, student gets benefited out of it. So these days, universities have made it mandatory for the colleges to ensure that there is an industry connect. And I'm one of them who has voluntarily participated on that. So yes, I'm associated with SNDT, NMIMS, Swami Vivekanand Institute of, Management Institute, and so on.
Yeah, so you have been a multidimensional professional and pretty successful at that. So tell me, where did it all start and how has been your journey so far?
My professional career itself was linked with my academics. Now let me clarify this statement. We were admitted for the course of MSc Computer Science by Mumbai University, which was at that time in 1980, that was one of the first experiment by Mumbai University where they collaborated with VisATI and Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. And we were admitted to this particular course where we have spent about nearly 2 years. And it was purely on computer science, that is all kinds of things relating to systems and more to do with, you can say, embedded systems and the systems which are relating to the computers at that time, which was DEC 10, PDP-11, IBM 36070, and so on. And after that, I have joined industries where started with consulting firm. Soon after that, I started working with those years, Nelco, Mahindras. They have taken Zenith leadership in manufacturing microprocessor-based systems. So I was one of them to support their systems as well as their software side. And then I joined my end user group, end user computing group, wherein I was with the verticals like water segment, then ECNO, that is engineering, construction and operations, automotive, retail, and one of the most interesting industry vertical was media and entertainment. And at the same time, I continued with my academics for last about 25 to 30 years with various institutes. So this is how the journey has been. Along with that, I have written books along with you on software testing, practical approach, and
also
ERP,
UML modeling.
ERP, E square RP, and UML modeling. So yeah, it was a fantastic experience, academics, writing books, and put all your practical experience in those books, Yeah.
So I'm sure you must have been inspiration to many juniors and many college students who have been dealing with. But what has been inspiration to you or anyone or a couple of people who have been kind of affecting or guiding your career so far?
My first, if you look at formative years, right from your birth till 11 to 12 years, the first lesson what I got is from my mother. And let me brief this particular incident, which could be useful for people. I had a very tough childhood. It was not very simple. And at one point of time, I had about, this is in 70s, 72, 73. I had about 25 paise in my pocket. And I went to meet my friends and they were playing, that time it was called as housey. I don't know what is called as now. And they told me, Sandeep, why don't you play? So I started playing. I did not lose a single game. And from 25 paise, it became some 5 rupees or something. So I was very happy. And everybody were envious, saying that, look at him, he is earning so much. I took that 5 rupees and I came to my mother. Those 5 rupees were in the form of all changes. And she shouted at me saying that this is not fair what you have done. Go back and give entire money to your friends and never play housey or such gambling. This remained in my mind. And Abhishek, to tell you frankly, till now, I never played housey. Whenever my friends invited me just for the sake of fun, once or twice, I played, but I never won and I lost it miserably. So I never did any gambling in my life. So what was the lesson? Lesson was you have to earn with your hard work and nothing else. Okay. After attaining that 12 years, 13 years, there was another mentorship from my uncle, which was a strange mentorship. I'm using the word strange because you will come to know why I'm using word strange. My uncle was giving a lot of fear pressure onto me that you have to be first in the class. There is no other rank for you. You have to be first. So I learned at that time, or maybe I learned later on, that fear also creates the motivation. So for me, at that time, fear has created a motivation that I should be first. And you won't believe, Abhishek, till MSc Com Science, I used to go and show all my papers to my uncle. Com Science meaning I was 21, 22. After I completed my post-graduation, for any new job which I picked up, the first thing I used to go and tell my uncle. And then we used to discuss. And then he used to guide me. This has happened till he was 88. He was bachelor. I was very close to him. And he knew exactly what I'm doing. And he used to guide me. We lost him about 5-6 years back. But I'm happy that he was knowing how I shaped in my life. Yeah. So that he was continuously, I would say, a great mentor for me. Along with him, there were so many other mentors. I mean, when you work with enterprises, you come across so many people, and you look at their style. You look at what you can learn from them. You try to imitate them sometimes, So that way I came across many people. My executive vice chairman, Mr. Subramaniam. I mean, I like his leadership style. He mixes spirituality and the work ethics together. And then we have discussion on that, how spirituality comes into the work ethics. So he is one of the mentor. So there are so many mentors who comes time to time, in life. But his mentorship, you can never forget, which was there for last about 52, 43 years. 52, 53 years with me. Yeah. Along with that, my other mentors are students themselves. Okay. I'm used to be with the students so many times in SNDT or NMIMS. They ask me so many questions. They ask me so many difficulties. I'm not talking technical difficulties. I'm not talking hardship. I'm talking about how to be successful in life. There is one girl who came and approached me recently. I was teaching a topic on entrepreneurship. She is a second year student. She came to me and said, "Sir, I have this idea. And I am in second year. By the time I complete 4 years, I want to be entrepreneur. So I want your guidance continuously to make sure that my startup runs." So jokingly, I told her, "Yeah, I could be one of your first employee." So So it was a great learning for me that look at the new generation, how they excel, how they think differently, you know. So this was one of the things which I thought I must share, that, you know, many people are saying in नई generation कुछ काम की नहीं है, whatever. But I have lots of hopes from them. Yeah.
No, thanks for sharing those 2-3 incidences and stories.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice, and I am sure the first one must be pretty eye-opening for many.
To be frank with you, gambling, I don't. If I invest consciously in the share, I lose that share. While if my wife or somebody goes and invest on my behalf, then perhaps it has gone up. But if I do something, no, it will
Even
not
subconsciously, it has kind of stuck with you.
It has stuck with me.
Oh, that's great. So now coming to the topic of your interest, digital transformation. So we'll first talk about some basics as to, for anyone who is listening today, what is digital transformation? Many people associate it with technology and so on. But let's first define it in simple terms. What is a digital transformation? And then we'll talk more about it.
Yes. Before I speak about digital transformation, I have seen people use different words in the organization. Digitization, somebody will use. Somebody will use digitalization. Then somebody will use digital transformation. So let's define these 3 words. Digitization, for me, it is simply computerization. The way in which we were doing it in 80s, late 80s or beginning of 90s also. Digitalization is you improve the business processes using digital tools. Okay, so that could be your digitalization. Digital transformation is something which is you have transformed your business using digital technologies. For example, there are organizations, they started the business with the digital. Uber, Zomato, they can't live without digital. But let's take banks. How they have transformed their businesses using digital. So today, can you imagine that if internet is not working or cloud is not working, banks will survive? No. Yeah. So that is digital transformation. Banks have transformed themselves from 10 to 5 working hours to 24/7. So that's a digital transformation. I'll give an example on this, which I really liked. These days, nobody gives check. They all transfer monies. I run foundation also. So one of my relative, he gave me a check saying that, I said, boss, check He said, no, you please deposit. He said that maybe I always take every incident as a learning for you. So I went to bank, ICICI Bank, after a long time. And security fellow told me, what you want? I said, ye check deposit karna hai. He said, is it? I'll teach you. I said, wow. And he taught me entire operation on that kiosk. I deposited the check. I got the SMS. Everything was done. Then I was thinking that this one particular incident taught me so much that your digital transformation did not remain only to the white collar staff of the company, but also it has gone to the level of security guy. And that security guy today is happy that he taught me how to deposit the check. So digital transformation is the business transformation with the help of digital technologies, which affects all the stakeholders. It's just not your employees, white collar employees, grassroots level, your customers, your shareholders, everybody.
Correct. So basically, it's not just about how you improve your business, but also how you enable your employees.
That's right.
Yeah, that's an important point. Actually.
Employees to the last level.
To the last level, yes. That's an important part of the digital transformation.
Right.
So, for the organizations, obviously this bank example was pretty good. But any other example where organizations might be thinking about transforming themselves, whether digital or not comes later, but they are thinking of improving something, what could be the drivers which will push them towards digital transformation?
Oh, there are many companies. I mean, if you look at ECNO itself, I would say these two industries, ECNO and agriculture, where digital transformation is not great. Okay. Now, what are the drivers? According to me, there are two drivers. One is external, second is internal. Let's look at what is external. When we talk about external, you must look at the industry. You must look at the competition. Now, when I talk about industry and competition, how it reflects. I was doing digital transformation for one of the HVAC company. So, simple thing I wanted to start in my roadmap. Estimation was one thing for HVAC. So, I said, how do you do the estimation? So many people gathered. Somebody gave me an idea. Sandeep, हम लोग Voltas में ऐसे करते थे. In Blue Star we were doing like this. So idea we gathered, and we know that industry is well ahead of us in terms of estimation. They have done something. So we want to do something unique which will take care us by ahead of the competition. So with my digital transformation, my one objective is that I am ahead of the competition. So one external factor is industry and competition. Second is there is a push from stakeholders like banks. These days banks are asking you so many reports. Banks are asking you, say they give loan for sustainability. Okay. But then at the same time they ask a lot of reports. And reports also not in the form of hard copies. They say, I want to log on to your portal. That means you need some tool which will enable this. Shareholders, they would like to look at your analytics. So there is a agencies which are pushing. Third is you look at government push. GST, IT, is it paper form? No. Everything is now electronic. So you have to have purchase register. It has to be in digital format to upload it. Sales register has to be in the, now there are so many amendments are coming, like invoice management system has to be there in the. So these 3-4 are the external factors which makes you think that it's a high time that we should make transformation in our processes. What are the internal factors? I would give first thing to the dynamic leadership. Your leadership, if it comes, I have seen in, I forgot name of the company. That company appointed CEO from HUL. He said, you don't have these basic things. I want to have complete transformation in this particular department, and he changed it. So dynamic leadership is very important. Second is customer behavior, that customer delight, customer surveys which we do, we come to know that whether they are happy, they are not happy, what is that customer requires, wow factor, that is important. So internally I must analyze that. Third most important thing is whether digitally, no digital. My processes has to be very robust. My processes has to be very strong. For example, I am running a company where my learning and development process has to be so strong that if my person who is in technical background would like to switch from technical to sales, do I have to depend on what is called as a push factor of training. That means push meaning he has to go to training and department and then they will chalk out the program. No, there has to be a pull factor. He will go to the portal. He will see what are the sales related courses for me. I'll pick up those. If I do this, I'm promoted to the next level or I'm allowed to go to the. So that's a transformation which I want to bring in the company. And that is what industry is doing. So these are called as robustness in the processes for learning and development. I just gave an example. And the fourth most important is you attract the good talent and retain the talent. Suppose your processes, if there is no digital processes, these days, moment you go, in our time, working was like you have a good table, you have good work, writing COBOL programs, blah, blah, blah. Now what they look at, youngsters, do I have wow factor in my working? Do I have a powerful intranet?
Correct.
Can I collaborate with my employees? Do I have a knowledge management to enhance my knowledge? So how do I attract the new talent? How do I attract and retain the new talent? That is something important. So we have external factors which we have seen and we have seen internal factors. These two will drive why we should do digital transformation.
Yeah, good points. So just a follow-up question, related question. So just to understand and also help everybody understand. Aadhaar card infrastructure in India. Okay. Nandan Nilekani famously calls it a digital infrastructure. So how is it, this is also, I mean, at one level, if you look at the KYC today, it's completely transformed, right?
Correct.
Because of this infrastructure.
Correct.
So is this also an example of digital transformation from a country perspective?
Okay, that's a fantastic question. I have recently prepared a syllabus and the lecture series for digital transformation for XYZ Institute. Now I'll be disclosing this. The first success story I am putting it is Digital India. Now let's look at Digital India. The first thing I want to touch, I have calculated, I'm sure I must, that should be correct. Country is giving 220 plus crores of vaccine dosages during COVID period using one portal called as CoWIN. When they said that now we are going to be starting vaccinating, I was thinking India's population is 120 crores. We have to take 2 dosages to start with. So we require 240 dosages, and then how many days? There are only so many labs. I said, it looks impossible. We finished this entire thing within 1.5 years, or perhaps less than that. Yeah. And the third dose came. How did it happen? If you look at the back end, how did it happen?
Yeah, there was
your main thing was Aadhaar card. Main thing was Aadhaar. I mean, thanks to Nandan, who has done such a wonderful job. The next best thing what government has done was, when they came to know there are shortages of labs to give the vaccination, they allowed private people to use it. So API was built in, and they have given to Nanavatis, Reliance and everybody, saying that you use our CoWIN portal and start, giving the vaccines. I don't think any country is so successful in giving such a high dose of the people in terms of the volume and of course the quality also. Second important example which always I state is, let's look at 8th November 2016, demonetization has happened. After that, there was an issue of initial few days, I didn't have any money. Whatever money I had deposited in bank and then taken, they used to give 2,000 rupees. Nobody was accepting. So go to Sabji wala, he will say, aap kal de do, parson de do. No, nobody is doing anything. thanks to Paytm, although I used Paytm in 2012. 2012 Paytm has come where I used Paytm on desktop or laptop. But look at Paytm coming on mobile. So important. And that made life simple, convenience. I remember I asked one vegetable vendor after demonetization things were settling down. I told him, boss, आप जनधन अकाउंट ओपन कीजिए ना, सब पैसे डालो, पेटीएम ले लो. नहीं नहीं, वो कौन करेगा, वो नहीं करना है. He was scared. Today, if you want to buy coriander leaves of 10 rupees, you can use your mobile. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So last 4 to 5 years, such a development on Paytm, that is because of simple KYC, Aadhaar, PAN card linked with your. But look at this digital transformation. Now, why it is digitally transformed India? Look at the stakeholders. Citizen. Our government saw to it while giving the vaccine, the citizen life is most important. Okay, if they are not there, country has no meaning. So they ensured that they are taken care. So first major stakeholders' expectation was taken care. Who was the next stakeholder? Next stakeholder was your frontline workers. They were also vaccinated. They were also trained.
In fact, they were prioritized.
They were prioritized.
Yeah.
They were trained to give the vaccination. Next, technology wing. Look at technology wing, 24/7. It was up and running. So whatever they have done, I read there was a complete article on how CoWIN architecture is. Such a beautiful architecture. How DR was ensured. So that was another stakeholder who ensured that everything is in line. And of course, later on vendor, whether Covaxin or I forgot the other name, which was from India. So they have supplied you on time. So their supply chain management was so strong that they knew that whether there is a stock or no. You know, bringing all these guys together was not possible without digital transformation.
Yeah.
So this is a classic example which normally I say that CoWIN or COVID vaccine is something which is extraordinary. And then, of course, Paytm and everything, your life is dependent on that.
Correct.
But your life was survived because of CoWIN.
Correct.
You know, so that is the first. That is why that is the first example.
Even central KYC now, from individual KYCs now to central KYC, so that it is valid across multiple institutions.
Yes.
That is also because of the Aadhaar card infrastructure.
They ensured that interoperability.
Correct.
You know, so
Correct.
Another example. I was traveling to Delhi. No, I was traveling from Delhi to Mumbai. On that day itself, Digiyatra started. I didn't even know what is Digiyatra and all. So I was just rushing. So lady stopped me. This is beautiful example. Lady stopped me. I said, sir, you are going to, I said, I'm going to Mumbai. Sir, you have Aadhaar card and everything. I said, yes, I have. I showed her digit. She told me, now your Digiyatra is here. You don't have to go in queue. Tuck. You are in. What have they done? Now also Digiyatra, you will see people are standing to help you out to enable Digiyatra. What have they done? They made my life simple by just not telling me that you download Digiyatra, camera, sub photo. They ensured that you may be not qualified to do that. They ensured that there is somebody to give you the help. You know, so that is something beautiful. And your journey is seamless.
Yeah.
You know, Digiyatra, fantastic. I mean, that is something I would say great. Another great thing. FASTag. I don't have to wait now for in the queue. I don't have to worry about change hai, nahi hai, all that. It's all done. Am I right?
Yeah.
So these are the beautiful examples from India side, where India has transformed into, their economy has grown up. One thing is whatever fraud was happening in the before FASTag is eliminated. Convenience, and people, if you look at the incremental savings in the petrol or diesel is also lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So these things are taken care now.
Yeah, I think by the time this podcast goes live, maybe we will have the new system, which is expected to come from
from
May.
Nitin Gadkari has announced.
Yeah, so hopefully that
right.
will be live before it goes.
Sure.
Our podcast goes live. so we have been talking about financial sector, even the government. So digital transformation is happening across the industry. Any industry where you see it is still kind of a laggard, not happening properly? I think you mentioned agriculture.
One is agriculture and second is ECNO, engineering, construction and operation. Okay, let me go back to other industries. How other industries are successful? If you look at bank, can bank operate today without digital if internet is down? No. Can airline industry operate? No. So everywhere you will see no, right? Now let's talk about engineering and construction. So there is a construction going on. What is construction going on? Either you do the piling, foundation. So there is a manual activity. Internet is down. Does it affect them? No. So the physical business, what is happening, is not affected whether your digital is on or not. That's one of the reasons with these two industries. Even agriculture, if you look at. But there is one beautiful example about agriculture. I forgot the name of the state in United States. I think it starts with I. I'll later on. What they do is there are miles and miles. They bring potatoes. Okay, miles and miles meaning when I calculated, I think you can say from Mumbai to Sangli, such a big. And if you want to bring the potatoes, if you want to do the harvesting of potatoes and then cultivating and then bringing it out, do you think it is possible manually? No. They have deployed the robots. They have deployed the drone. It happens only if potatoes there. Okay. They have done so beautifully that it is seamlessly done in that particular state. If that doesn't work, their potato production will be zero. And this is done. This is a success story. I read it long time back. I don't remember where. It is not in HBR or McKinsey, but it's there. I forgot. Maybe BCG has told me. I'll have to check up. You look at ECNO similarly, So making these things, putting it onto the system is difficult. For example, paver blocks. Earlier you can put the paver blocks without manual. There is a machine, you put the paver blocks, and that machine takes care of putting the blocks onto the road. Look at the cost of the machine. Cost is huge. Unless you have repeated volume, repeated work. Now, earlier, the tunneling, we were all doing it manual. Now look at the tunneling. Tunneling happens using tunnel boring machine, which is completely computerized, which is completely robo-based. So all the metro projects can never happen without TBM. But that is as far as the production is concerned. To certain extent, we are there. Okay. Their processes, we are all trying our level best to ensure that they are automated, they are digitally transformed. But if you look at the skill sets which is required for transforming the digital, to transform that digitally, is lacking. There where I would say we are lacking. We are not training them. We are not motivating them perhaps. We are not incentivizing. One of the thing which one should do is give the incentives. If you do this, which we have tried and we are pretty successful. In knowledge management, we saw earlier, the learning and development was not picking up. So we incentivized the people. We ran the campaigns. We ran tests. We ensured that people will get the platform. So these things are very much required where the companies who are yet to become digitally transformed. Similarly, agriculture. Okay. In India, the cost is one of the factor which perhaps prohibiting our farmers or even construction companies to take it up. But I have seen one student, group of the student presented to us. She came from Amravati. That group came from Amravati, not from Mumbai. They made mechanical robo for agriculture purpose, and how it can sprinkle the water, how it can put the seeds, everything they demonstrated.
Wow.
And that is amazing. So I said, wow. So there are many things which we can do it in agriculture. For example, plant disease. Okay, this plant also catches the disease. How do I know which type of disease? Yeah. So you take the plant leaf which is having disease, put it in the system, and then it will tell you this is the disease. The problem is we have software, we have everything, but we don't have Indian database. Our diseases are different from the diseases which are there in Europe or in US. So we need a database of these diseases in India. For that, we have to collect the database. We have to approach Rushi Mitra or all those agencies, collect the database, put in the efforts, and then come up with meaningful knowledge database for our people, wherein you will come to know what kind of diseases are there, and then there is a remedy. So lot of ground level work has to be done in these two industries. And the most important thing there is something called as a change management, which is all these other industries which we have seen, they also had to undergo change management. Change is something which is
constant,
and change is, in Buddhism, it is said that there is a sufferings because of change. See, there are various types of suffering. One of the suffering is because of the pain. Another suffering is because of the desire. The third type of suffering is sufferings because of change. Okay. I don't want to accept this. Finish. No, you have to accept. So that's a suffering. How do I cure this is something very important. For that, we need to give we have to create a lot of programs for them. And that is important. That is most critical phase in both these industries, which other industries have taken up.
Yeah, maybe this is one of the things which can be preventing organizations from taking up digital transformation, even if it is required.
Yeah.
So are there any other misconceptions about going for digital transformation?
First misconception about digital transformation is, IT project hai. While this is not IT project.
Yeah.
The name is digital. That does not mean that it is IT project. So in digital transformation, it's like, what do I call? It's like a cricket match. Now you see cricket match, there are players, there are bowlers, somebody is batting. So there is Virat Kohli, there is a Anil Kumble, or latest is Chahal, and wicket keepers is there. There are slip fielders, there is gully and all those, right? Umpires are there. So digital transformation, just align this with cricket match. Suppose digital is same as Virat Kohli. Digital is a technology, is a kernel, Virat Kohli. So Virat Kohli is the most important player to win the match. So technology is the most important player. But others are also required. Am I right? That ecosystem has to be solid to support winning the match. Am I right?
Correct.
Virat Kohli cannot make 100 on his own. He has to take his partner support. If that partner doesn't run, Virat Kohli will be run out. Am I right? So you have to take entire ecosystem in confidence for digital transformation. Just taking technology, bringing best of the technology, and not taking your people, processes, partners, stakeholders in confidence, it has no meaning. So digital transformation, misconception is it is a IT project. No, it is a project driven from top where all these stakeholders are involved. Even customer is involved. Even suppliers are involved, you know. So misconception I clarified, which was there. Let's take ISO 9000. Do you think ISO 9000 was a project of only quality people? No. The first principle of ISO 9000 is whatever processes you are saying, it should go to the last worker. He should be aware, you know. So you take everybody in confidence and then you implement. CMMI, we have seen.
Correct.
Okay. Then so many safety certifications, safety. It is again, everybody has to be loop in. Yeah. So, yeah, I would say digital transformation is a wrong name then, you know. So we have to put some different name.
Okay, so let's talk a little more and get into the depth of digital transformation. Let's talk about if an organization is looking to transform itself digitally. What are the steps and where does it start?
Oh, this is generally asked by our people. Sandeep, and I like the way in which they are asking. They are asking me first question, why are you transforming? So the first question organization should ask, the first step is why and not what. Okay. Why you want to transform your digital, why you want to transform your organization into with digital framework. So answer of why is external driver and internal driver, which we spoke earlier. Second is one has to do what is called as assessment of the organization. Now, when I talk about the assessment of the organization at a very high level, one has to look at what are the goals you want to achieve in next 5 years, 8 years, whatever, where you want to position yourself, what are the opportunities you are looking at. For example, you want to expand in Europe, you want to expand in Africa, and how digitally it will help, that also I will tell you. You want to expand in untouched countries like, which is that, separated from Russia.
Ukraine.
Huh?
Ukraine.
No, not Ukraine. Those, we call it as Kazakhstan and all those countries. You know, I want to expand there because there is nobody. I want to sell some product there. So, what are your opportunities you have assessed and you really want to go there in next 5 years, and what is the revenue model you want to build? Second is, you do your, based on this assessment, you do your assessment, a critical assessment of the organization internally. Now, when I talk about internal assessment, if I want to do assessment internally about IT, let's take an example. I will always be biased. नहीं, सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है. Yeah, this is best. So do external in. When I talk about external in, that means bring somebody from outside who can do this assessment. Okay. This assessment should be in terms of how realistic are your goals, how realistic your goals with respect to the people, okay, with respect to your skills. When I talk about people's skills, attitude, you look at your assessment from process perspective. Are these processes are going to be there when you go out, or you need to add something more? Okay. These 3-4 things you must do, which is called as critical assessment. Okay. Once you do this critical assessment, then you take the buy-in, you present it to the leadership, to the board, to the stakeholders, that we want to go to this journey and what is your comment. They will come up with their own wish list, that this is not happening, add this. Okay. So take them in confidence. That means you have a right buy-in there. Okay. Then you come up with what is the next course of action. The next course of action is you put all the building blocks. We used to call earlier days, I used to like one model called as business component modeling. So in the business component modeling, you write all the components. I'm doing tendering, I'm doing this, I have HR follow. And then make it, give color codes from priority perspective and from importance perspective, or rather impact. Okay. So you prioritize either low hanging fruits and also impactful initiatives. Low hanging fruits, because if I do this, I create visibility within the organization that something is happening. So in the priority list, once the priority list is, you have listed down, then you get hold of partners, you get hold of right skills. See, one thing is, we have one strong, I have seen, urge to do everything ourselves. Okay. नहीं, ये in-house कर सकते हैं. We will do it. We have capability. Don't do that. Bring the partner. Bringing the partner, again external in, will give you different perspective. They have their knowledge base of millions of years, so they can bring a lot of experience along with them. Along with this, get the right skills tapped. One of the most important skill which one has to look at it is cyber security, which we didn't speak yet. Now, why this guy is important? Why this skill is important? If you look at today, your Paytm, your Covin, or IoT devices, they are all protected with a great framework of cyber security. So in digitalization, do we have this? For example, few months back, XYZ company's service portal was not working because of the cyber attack, and everybody were struggling to transfer the money. We are so habituated, if you want 150 rupees, I just transfer it. And that day, for 3 hours, it was not happening because XYZ portal was not working, and they are all interconnected. And there was a cyber attack. There was a cyber attack few months back on our electrical grid. which was IoT device. So who has to be vigilant? You don't know. We all feel everything is working. But there is somebody sitting who is unsung hero of this entire play, who is taking care of your all attacks, analyzing with the help of AI engine, and then killing there itself. Or sometimes the attack is so bad that it will affect you. So make sure that whenever you are making any digital transformation program along with the partners, there has to be a cybersecurity guy. Once you do this, once your partners are on board, then you give complete visibility to all your stakeholders with the help of communication. Communication is the most important thing for any project, which you know, I know, we have learned this. So communication is important, and communication at all the levels. So that communication must happen, that we are starting this journey, and let's start your journey. So that's how I feel. If you look at the total steps, what I have said, maybe about 8 to 10 steps.
Correct.
Yeah.
So in these steps, since we have been talking about digital transformation, what is the role of technology and where will it fit in? Which of these steps?
Technology is basically when you are prioritizing, that time you will decide along with the partner what kind of technology you will require. It is quite possible that already a process is done with the help of technology. But technology is always evolving. Okay? So there could be a better technology available. There could be pain points. For example, I was doing recently one complete system study for XYZ process for another company. I realized they implemented an ERP product, solid product, but most of the work in that particular process was done manually. I asked why. They said, it is not taking care. I said, we have spent so much of money. Then we realized that portion, product is incapable of handling that. So you have to bring another technology to ensure that that process can be. First of all, there is no one product which can give the solution to all your processes. It's impossible these days. Okay, so you have to have right fitment for the product. So technology plays a very vital role, and you have to select the technology very carefully. And the technology selection itself is a journey where you require separate team, due diligence, partner who is going to be implementing. There are many things. Because today the technology, what somebody has sold you, after 2 years or after 1 year, somebody may take over and kill the product. Okay, and you are at a problem. So you have to be extremely careful for the technology evaluation, and that's the kernel.
So since we're talking about technology, in today's world, no discussion can happen without artificial intelligence.
Oh yes, without
technology is like artificial intelligence these days. Everybody is talking about it. So now digital transformation and AI. Where does AI fit into digital transformation, or how can we use AI to kind of become better at transforming digitally?
First of all, AI is everywhere now. In another
absolutely
3 years, I was always saying, you cannot live without AI. Yes. Now you cannot live without internet, right? 3 years time, no AI. I mean, no AI means no AI, no human beings.
Yeah.
I'll give you one simple example of transforming your own household things. Okay. Household matters. We just recently moved to a new house. And I was telling my wife, you're dependent on servants. They come, they don't come. Sometimes they just go away. Cleanliness is a problem. Why can't we transform ourselves to no servant concept? She said, how is that possible? I said, think about it. for cleaning your this thing, let's buy a robo. So we certified on robo. Now she cannot live without robo. She says, Sandeep, this is like my child. I mean, I have to use it. And that robo works so intelligently. I don't have to tell you this. Everything possibly we try to automate. So it's a transforming our house to technology. Similarly, I mean, that technology is nothing but AI.
Yeah.
I want to, it's a summer season. Before I reach home, I want to start my AC. How do I do that? Use mobile, start AC. Am I right? So when you are reaching home, it's a bad thing for health. So AC is on. You are not there in the house. You want to sprinkle the water. So my device can work on that. Am I right? So that's as far as your day-to-day activities are concerned, which are already taken over by AI. Right? Now in the organization, very simple thing. I'm educating people. Use Copilot. For what? Drafting the mails. Simple mail, you want to draft it. Let Copilot does for you. You just approve the format. Don't think. So Copilot has taken over by your thinking of how to. Your efforts will go on analyzing. All the points have come. Whether it is addressing proper. I don't want Shakespearean English. But points have come. Okay. Second thing is there are so many mundane tasks which we do on day-to-day basis. Even in systems department. Patch management. Seeing the inventory of various locations. Service desk. My service desk is completely automated.
Correct.
I have a printer problem. It will directly go to XYZ. So this automation, we have done it through workflow. So can digital transformation happen without AI? Answer is no. AI is a embedded part. And AI is a part of technology. So which AI to use, how to use, that is left to you. Okay.
And that will also depend on the initiative.
It is depending on initiative.
Yeah.
It is, but things like I want to do regularly whatever I am purchasing from the market, cement, steel, pipes. Am I buying at the right price? That's a question which executive vice chairman or CEO will have. Am I right?
Correct.
What I will do, I have a site somewhere. I always compare it. Now this is a manual comparison. Let AI does it for you. Finish. Another beautiful example I'll give you. There was one project AFCONS was doing, which was the first steel bridge in Bihar, Patna. And at that time, we were one of the first people in the industry to implement BIM. So we wanted, BIM is building information modeling. So we wanted to implement BIM. First, let's do the mock-up on this particular, for this bridge. So we have done the 3D architecture on the BIM. We have done the Primavera schedule, married it. Every model was completely ready, functional, done. I'm talking 2 years back. Our people said this project will get over on 30th May. This is a live story. Our BIM model said it will get over by 6th of April. They said impossible. 6th April. The project was completed on 10th of April. And we were congratulated on that. This is 2 years back. We used Python script to extrapolate based on the progress. Your Primavera progress was showing that you are not working on Saturday, Sunday, but in reality you were working on Saturday, Sunday. So we took that data and plotted it, saw to it that it gets, this is a real story. And then selling BIM in the company was not an issue. Now let's look at this. Do you think this is a new technology?
No idea.
Okay, let me give you examples. Earlier, there was a concept of demand forecasting replenishment planning, DFRP. What is DFRP doing? No AI. Okay. What DFRP was doing? DFRP was, let us take, there is a retail shop. Okay. In the retail shop, I want to find when do I replenish whatever, tur dal, masoor dal, whatever. When do I replenish this? So, what is the demand I had in past? When this demand surge, is it during festive season? Is it during Saturday, Sunday? All that data I collect for last 3 years, and then I used to run an engine called as DFRP engine, which was there in MRP2 products, which was earlier version of ERP, which was called as Advanced Supply Chain Planning. And then system will tell you, Masoor dal, you start ordering now because it is going to be over. This intelligence came from where? This intelligence came from, there was one algorithm, one mathematician has developed in 1930, a German mathematician, called as behavior of item, okay, is in 9 quadrants. Okay, slow moving, fast moving, lumpy moving, dead, and so on. These 9 he has plotted with statistical techniques. He used entire statistics and we plotted this in DFRP algorithm. So Manugistics, I2, everybody were giving this. We use the same thing here for plotting the progress. We took the historical data. Only thing we used Python for the simplicity. So AI in the simple form, it has come now as compared to what we were doing earlier, and it has penetrated the market, and digital transformation cannot happen without AI. By the way, one more thing which I want to tell you. We all talk about machine learning language now. In 2024, 2 physicists were awarded Nobel Prize. Hopman, and I forgot the second person's name. One is 76-year-old, one is 91 years old. Mm-hmm. You know for what?
No.
Their research, which was they did in 1970 on machine learning.
Wow. Now we realize the importance of that.
Correct. Now, out of which one person, I think Hopman, resigned from Google at the age of 76. His interview is very famous. He says, I cannot work on artificial intelligence or machine learning anymore because I have a danger that I see a danger that this will take over human beings and this is going to be end of the world. So I don't want to be part of that. This is what Einstein also earlier said. While the other gentleman is a 91 years old, he's still working as a professor in Princeton.
Wow.
So these technologies, the root was there in 70s. Concepts were there. These languages, these algorithms. Statistical made it simpler. You know?
That reminds me, is there any connection to demand forecasting in the way now dark stores are opening for Zepto,
yes,
Zomato, and
yes,
Swiggy?
they use now AI-based same algorithm is same, 100%. It is on statistics. Your standard deviation will tell you whether it is fast-moving, slow-moving, lumpy, whatever.
Because without having such kind of a forecasting, they can't deliver in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. It's impossible, right?
Okay, that delivery in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I have my own doubts.
Certain things do happen.
Certain
Not
things.
everything.
Because that day I ordered something from one of the store. It first said 10 minutes. So I was said, wow. I mean, not food items, but it was something, not sandwiches or anything. I waited for 2 hours. Finally, I said, cancel 2 hours. So those are logistics related issues, perhaps. But there they use algorithms for, there are beautiful logistics related algorithms, which Abhishek, you must be knowing, which we have learnt it in operations research.
Yeah.
Taha's book is to give that what is called as route optimization theory.
Correct.
They are all are built now. Python has all libraries. That day you were giving an example of Smart.
Yeah.
Smart is being used for all kinds of analysis now.
Correct.
So that's some. So AI is going to be an integral part of digital transformation.
Correct.
And
So for an organization which is kind of investing in digital transformation, so following the steps, they do the assessment, they go step by step. But obviously, it has to be measured in terms of what is the success? Are we able to really transform? So some metrics, what kind of metrics they can use to measure it?
this is typical question which, when a selling person from Big Fours or big product company, they come and they tell me, Sandeep, you are going to be saving 38 crores year on year and so on. Okay. Now let's talk on this. ROI you can certainly measure in certain type of industries. For example, retail. What is the main key performance indicator of retail apart from customer retaining? Okay, is stock turn ratio. How fast you can replenish your existing stock. This certainly can improve using AI or digital transformation. Now we did this in 2000 with one of the automotive company in UAE, okay, by just applying DFRP algorithm. But yes, it was cumbersome. You required some kind of skill set, statistics, analytics, and then we have put in all those nuts and bolts together, and then we made it possible. But we have seen the ROI. So in retail, I could 100% give you an example that you can see the ROI in terms of money. In beauty industry, you will come to know specifically based on pH value, which is very, very important. And with the help of AI, you can improve upon pH value. You will come to know the cell. But there are industries where you can't measure really ROI. So what you do? You can measure what is called as cultural change in the company. Okay. So I always call 4 pillars of digital transformation: technology, people, process, and culture. Whether this is changing or not, that is important. Now, what is culture? Yeah. Culture is your way of working. So earlier my way of working was Babugiri. I send the paper, he is writing, he is approving. Now let's say I take an interview of a candidate. So earlier what I was doing, I was writing on the piece of paper, sending the paper. Now my way of working is changed. Now my interview is scheduled online. I get meeting request. After interview, I write my comments. It goes to the next person for him to put the comments, next person, and so on. So my culture is changed. My culture is more collaborative now. Okay, so there is a collaboration using digital. Our culture got changed drastically during COVID time. All of us were not able to travel, and we use digital technologies extensively using Teams or what is that? Another one, Zoom. Okay.
Zoom became very
right?
famous. Yeah.
There was airlines were losing the money because there was nobody. US was working. Airlines were working, but there was nobody who was traveling.
Yeah.
Everybody used Zoom or Teams, whatever. The technology sale has gone up during COVID. Why? Because of the way in which we were working. Nobody asked at that time, Teams में इतना licenses डाला तो कितना return on investment. They know that this will save us, So culture shift itself will bring improvement in your bottom line. Yeah. So certain industries you can put your KPIs, say customer retention. You can put new customers who have come. You can say stock turn ratio, etc., etc. For certain industry you can't. You have to put culture as the base. Yeah, I want to see the improvement in the culture.
Right. So culture and the behavior brings me to the people who are working in the industry and how digital transformation can affect them, or how can they contribute to the digital transformation. So the first question would be, if people who are working on digital transformation projects, what are the important critical skills for the professionals to be part of the digital transformation initiatives?
Okay. First of all, technology is continuously changing. And once you announce this particular program, you ensure that the people who are part of this particular program, let's start with developer skills. Okay, the people. So we would like to tell them that you have to pick up mobile development skills. Now, which tool, that you perhaps will decide later on. But if you say you start with any tool, let us take these days Flutter is most important. Then React is dying, it seems. So these tools, so mobile development, you pick up the skills which requires APIs, connection with APIs. Connection with APIs with what? With your main ERPs. And these main ERPs, because you are going to fetch a lot of data. Suppose you have multiple ERPs. Ensure that you learn APIs. So, technology-wise, okay, when I talk about mobile development, it is just not front-end. You have to ensure that you are taken care end-to-end.
Yeah.
So, developer side, your expectations are this, and they are expected to learn. Another wing which will come where they have to be very careful when AI comes in or digital transformation is going to come is the cyber security. Along with infrastructure upgrades, because infrastructure upgrade is imperative for digital transformation. So what is that infrastructure? Let's take I am on-prem. But
on-premises.
On-premise. So on my next move, I want to put everything on the cloud. So what is that I have to learn? How the cloud computing works. How cloud is going to be working for me. You have established the disaster recovery on-prem, some other side. Okay. In cloud, are you going to have that? Then what is the cost impact? That somebody else will assess. But how is it going to work? That's going to be important. So infrastructure upgrade man has to be careful. Cyber security guy has to be extremely vigilant. Mobile app, whatever you are developing, are we come up with a policy that there has to be a VAPT of each and every application. Okay. I don't want to have any holes in the code. VAPT of my servers or cloud penetration has to be there. So ensure that. So that checklist, I think the guy who is going to initiate this can give this checklist to the people, developer, then your infra, cyber security guy. Then there is another layer which comes, which is called as a functional consulting. So in the many companies, you have what is called as a functional consulting. These functional consultings are nothing but process owner. Somebody is owning all the processes relating to finance. Somebody is relating all the processes relating to the customer. Somebody is for supply chain and so on. So under that, there will be so many, because when you talk about supply chain, you have procurement, you have subcontracting, you have logistics, you have warehouse management and so on. So
can we call them subject matter experts?
They are subject matter experts. What they are supposed to be learning? It's a new technology now. Now new transformation. What they want to bring in, what they want to see. For example, earlier what was happening is there was a product called as I2, and we used to do this, or Manugistics. Me as a supplier, I have the ability to look into your stock. Okay, so that if you are out of stock, the sale will get affected, and my sale is also getting affected. So I tell you to replenish that. Okay. So do you want to bring these kind of things? So write it down. So these subject matter expertise or consultants, whatever, or process owners, they will write it down their own checklist. What improvements they want to bring it in the processes. Okay. And these process improvements are industry specific. These process improvements are based on the feedback of the employees, Right. So each one of them will have a learning curve. Yeah. So right from developer to
the functional consultant.
And tester comes in between, where they start writing the test cases every now and then.
So these were some of the hard skills, important hard skills you talked about. Anything to do with soft skills, especially in digital transformation projects?
There are two guys who, there are two compartments where soft skills are imperative. One is these process owners. They must have the soft skills. They must have soft skills from communication, assertiveness, okay, and not aggressive, assertiveness. They must ensure that how do I convince because finally you are my customer, end user is my customer. Convince him for the betterment of his business or betterment of his process. So these 2-3 things they have to learn, or they have to have that skills. First of all, to be frank with you, when we select the process owners, we ideally see these skill sets. And the project manager. Project manager is a poor guy. I mean, he has to have huge soft skills.
Yeah.
Huge. First of all, he has to have excellent motivational skills. There is nobody to motivate him. Okay. Only motivation for him is project complete karna hai time pe and the quality deliverables.
Correct.
Am I right?
Correct.
So he has to have motivational skills, because every second day somebody will be leaving from his side as well as from partner side. So how he can balance it, that is most important. So project manager, motivational skills, communication skills till the leadership team and his leadership. He has to also ensure that project is on time. Project is not slipping out of the budget. And the fourth thing, project manager of partner side has to think, is it out of scope item? Is it the thing which we need to worry about, so that, we have to bill them separately or we have to start negotiating. In this particular aspect, I have one beautiful case study. It just stuck to my mind. We were doing digital transformation in 2007 with insurance company. When they came to India, they came as they are the main stakeholders from UK. They came. And I happened to be the delivery head, but I was also playing the role of project manager. Everything went smoothly. Like all the sign-offs, everything went smoothly. On one fine day, their subject matter expertise called me saying that, Sandeep, I think we are missing out on something. I said, what is that? He showed me one particular portion where there has to be change. And if we do this change, this will hugely impact in a better way for all the stakeholders in terms of reporting, in terms of capturing the data for the future. And we spoke sensitivity analysis at that time. I said, sir, can we defer this? Because this is asking for huge efforts from my side also. He said, give me 2 days. And you continue with your work. So we continued. After 2 days, he came back. In these 2 days, he did his homework with all his colleagues, with all other stakeholders, and he was convinced that this change is required. He came and told me, Sandeep, this change is required. Now, me as a project manager or delivery head, I did not tell him that what efforts it will go and how much it will cost. So I said, okay, sir, if this is your thing, we will do it. But now let me work out the project timelines. Let me revise the project timelines. So I revised the project timelines and I presented. In my entire conversation, I presented to the board. We never told them that it is going to impact you this much money. Okay. I ensured that project is going as usual with the extended timelines. And when the customer saw the final product, they were so happy. They were sensible enough to ask me, Sandeep, this change has impacted project lines. So efforts. So I said I was to come back to you, that we will discuss separately. This has ended up smoothly. Had I told him in between, already that guy is irritated with the change, with the escalated timelines, he would have further got irritated with my saying, sir, please pass this, pass. So I thought to play very politically till end of the project and let him be happy. So project manager of that side, that is from the partner side, has to be vigilant all the time that if I bring the card about out of scope work or change in the scope, how it will react to the company. Okay. So this is major drawbacks I have seen with our kind of project management, where moment you say ये थोड़ा सा change करना, नहीं इसको 2 दिन लगेंगे, 3 दिन लगेंगे. Don't do that. So project manager should be groomed. Yeah. Okay. 100%. And he should know the mentality of the customer. He should know the sensitivityness of the customer. So he has to make sure that customer is happy. At the end, customer must be happy. So that he can call you again. That's very important. So that these are the skill sets required. See, digital transformation is like any other project. Okay. And whatever is required for the project has to be done. Yeah. Most important is role of project manager. People who has to understand the skills, pick up AI skills, pick up mobile development skills, which is at the lower level. They must know workflow automation. They must know that routine task, whatever we are doing, how to take care of that. So there are classes, there are many people available in the market who can teach. Okay.
So I was coming to that was my next question. Is to somebody, let's say, they are aware of digital transformation projects. They are very critical for any organization. And if they want to learn about it, are there any kind of professional courses or degree programs or even diploma programs from colleges or universities where they can enroll and learn about it? Because I don't see too many such programs.
To be frank with you, there are programs, 2-day, 3-day programs arranged by IIM Ahmedabad. There are programs arranged by ISBs. So there are no such program. But on a specific skill sets, there are so many programs available on the YouTube. You pay and you can learn on your own. But largely on total digital transformation, there is no program. In fact, I'm working on this initiative.
Yeah, talk about it, please, if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm going to be, I would like, or I have given the proposal and it is largely accepted by the university, one university, autonomous university, that digital transformation program, about 60 hours program, put it in 4 modules, and where all these topics what we spoke are touched upon, including technical depth, and more emphasis is given on the case studies and the group discussion, how to do it. So even soft skills are taken care. Even the strategy side, how do we strategize, digital transformation? But there is no certification on digital transformation as such, but this is a part of the curriculum, because government wanted that between university and industry expert, there has to be a proper bridge. So, and I have been working with the many universities, so I thought I will introduce this particular course. And that was accepted, almost accepted. Board of Studies has also given the clearance. And therefore, I feel that this particular program could be useful to them.
Absolutely. I believe digital transformation is something which is happening all around us.
All around.
It's just that we are not talking about it.
That's right.
I mean, the way we talk about AI, and we have talked about cloud and various other things, I don't think we have talked about digital transformation that much.
That's right. No, I mean, this is the first podcast on digital transformation for me. So earlier podcast happened on the capabilities of KM, capabilities of ERPs, etc., etc. But digital transformation, this is the first time. And I'm enjoying, to be frank with you.
Because I have seen, I have been part of certain projects, especially the ICICI Bank, which was a major digital transformation.
Yes.
So the last question before the rapid fire round is, so at that point in time, my boss picked me up saying that you lead this project. Okay. I didn't know why, but I was picked up. But today's world is more informed world. So let's say I have to make my candidature saying that I want to lead this project. How do I convince my management? Any tips? They think, okay, I am ready for this kind of leadership role.
That's a difficult question. In-house, right? Looking at there are we need 2 types of people. One from partner side, so that's their problem, perhaps, and one from in-house side. So in-house side, what we look at, who is the person who can influence leadership properly? See, most important is influencing the leadership, that what they are going to get, because finally money will be spent, other resources like manpower will be spent. So at the end, so he has to influence. So who is the influencer? A. B, who is the person who is aware about the complete organization, where he knows the strength of the organization, weakness. So who is that guy in terms of processes, in terms of people? So I would like to look at that person again. And third most important is soft skills. I don't want to see any technical thing. He will know, obviously, because
Part of
digitalization is
IT companies.
yeah. So everybody, but the soft skill, yes, and then he is the right man for my digital transformation. This is how I personally pick up. We do this for individual projects also. Once you pick up this big man, then this big man role is not over. He has to pick up the small persons because individual processes are huge. So who is going to own the process? Who is going to be the assistant project manager or deputy PM or whatever for other projects? It's like hammocking. You make small projects. Who is owning this project? Who is owning? That has to be seen. Right. So that's important.
Okay, so now it's time for rapid fire round. First question. One word to describe, or one sentence to describe digital transformation.
Oh, wow. I would consider digital transformation as evolution, because it is going to be evolving. I cannot say that I have transformed my organization. No. Uber cannot say IT, by putting IT system, now everything is on the system, so digitally transformed. No. In fact, I came up with an idea for Uber. If they're listening, they can pay me royalty. When I sit in the car, if driver asks me, आपको हिंदी गाने अच्छे लगते हैं, पुराने गाने अच्छे लगते हैं, मराठी कौन से? And if you can write it down, next time if I sit in the car, he will play automatically Hindi songs for me.
Correct.
That's a customer delight.
Correct.
He can keep some food for me. I'm just giving some ideas. So think out of box, think more and more how customer can be happy.
Experience can be improved.
Customer experience is going to be the most important, and that is something unending.
Yeah, well said. Next question is about so technology and hype, they go together.
Correct.
Okay. But according to you, which is the most overrated digital trend?
Oh, I think metaverse. Metaverse is something which, when it was announced, I looked at use case saying that let me use it. But when I looked at the cost, I said it's unaffordable. I tried looking at the skill sets, impossible to get. And that remained as a hype. Microsoft tried to bring a product, I forgot the name of the product also. And I wanted to evaluate. But for evaluation itself, there is nobody who can give you proper demonstration. So maybe the metaverse, I don't know.
Okay. The next question is the biggest mistake companies make while doing digital transformation.
The biggest mistake is they consider this project as IT project, while this is not IT project. This is business project. Okay, so business has to drive. IT can be proactive. IT can provide a lot of inputs. Okay, but business has to own, because they are going to be funding. So it's a business. And we have seen, by and large, people are doing that. For example, if you read Hindustan Unilever story, initially they were not there in e-commerce platform at all. They were only doing the marketing using TV, radio, newspaper, or give the coupons and so on. But later on, when they realized that the players who were substantially smaller than them have approached rural sector doing very well on online, while rural sector concept, reaching to rural sector with the cosmetics, with the detergents and everything, was the first concept brought by Hindustan Unilever in 1950 and 60s.
Oh.
Okay. And this is where they were lagging behind. They saw so many other players are catching up, and they announced a mega program for e-commerce. And the story says their profit, bottom line, was substantially gone up after 1 year or 1.5 years.
Right.
So they own some of the programs, some of the companies, they own wisely, I would say.
We talked about the course or degree program on digital transformation. Since it is not there right now, any book you will recommend for people who want to learn about digital transformation?
There are 3 books which I picked up. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name. One is, I remember the title, I think, Strategic Digital Transformation, which is written by one of the authors. She's ex-Accenture partner. Another book is written by Nitin Seth, Digital Age. Okay. And third book, which is very interesting, which was Harvard publication, Harvard Business Review. Forgot the main heading. There's one more book recently I picked up, which was from Columbia University. Digital Playbook, Digital Transformation Playbook. And they have come up with an enhanced edition also. But I am yet to read. So these are 4-5 good books available which give in-depth analysis how to go about it. And, in fact, the first one which I spoke, Strategic Digital Transformation, it speaks and also gives elaboration on the technologies also. So I think that's a good book to read.
We'll figure this out and put it in the description also.
Yeah,
if people want to read it.
These are very good books.
Okay, so the last question is an advice based on your experience. So if organizations are going for transforming themselves or improving their processes, or professionals who want to work on digital transformation projects, one advice for organization, one advice for the professional.
Okay,
you can share.
For the organization, first question they should have, and that is the only advice, ask why. Why do you want to do this? And then all other answers will come automatically. If you say, I want to improve this, if you say, my supply chain is not effective, that is why I want to do it, then the answers will flow in. So first ask why, and don't jump blindly. Just because XYZ is doing, don't copy the company. For example, I don't want to name anybody, but a large product vendor was telling me, there are 10, 12 companies looking at you. If you are buying this product, then they also want to jump in. I said, they cannot do this. My pain points are different. Their pain points could be different. So advice, don't copy. Ask why. Okay. Why don't copy? Because sometimes what happens in industry, he has done that, so let's do it. It has become fashion. Earlier, ERP was becoming fashion. Usne ERP implement kiya, humne bhi karna chahiye. No. What are your pain points? Look at that and then get into this. For professionals, they have to be in touch with latest trends, latest technologies. They have to continuously learn. The books which I have given, they have sufficient knowledge base for them to pick up. There is so much of knowledge available on the net itself that they can learn every day, every hour. So whenever they find time, instead of just whiling their time, sit on the net to understand what new can be done. And from the young people, I'm more encouraged. They are coming up with good ideas. Again, don't copy the ideas. Come up with fresh ideas. Discuss with the industry experts. Catch hold of them and flourish those ideas. Try and implement. Don't leave your dream halfway. Ensure that you reach there. For that you have to put a lot of hard work, you have to give up lot many things which you like to do it, and just concentrate on technology, because world is changing. The jobs, earlier jobs which you have seen in corporate world, earlier jobs which you have seen in IT world, are no longer going to be there. There will be different types of skill sets which will be asked. Okay. There will be, do you know big data? Do you know how to handle unstructured data? What is the database available? All that kind of things going to come, and you are expected to do. CVs are going to be redundant. Companies will judge you based on what you have filled up in their portal, and they will find out from your LinkedIn profile what you are doing.
Correct.
So for youngsters, for professionals, it's very important to change, adapt this change positively, okay, and work hard. That's all. I mean, work hard. There is no substitute for working hard. Okay, whether you work 90 hours per week or whether you work 55 hours, doesn't matter. But working, imbibing new skills is most important. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sandeep, for sharing your knowledge and wisdom. This has been truly remarkable. So, this was truly a masterclass on digital transformation. If you want to really want us to talk about similar other topics, do let us know in our comments. Thank you so much for being with us.